How flat is too flat? Like, is it gonna come off the rim? Taking, extra time to communicate each one of the changes of detail to the crew. So when you're just starting to tear into a new project, obviously that's when there's going to be, a lot of things to figure out and a lot of headaches and a lot of problems to solve.
You got to replace the metal on that trim board. But I think Shane might have it in a wood grain steel if I use steel that's made for seamless siding. You got white steel coil stock with a wood grain on it?
Oh, shoot, just a second here. White, 24-inch by 50-foot steel trim coil.
This is just a vinyl siding job. Easy, right? Everybody can do a vinyl siding job. This one has so much metal trim it's Touchmark Assisted Living on West Century and Bismarck, and there's so much metal trim wrapped around all the deck patios and a nice belly band that goes across each, dividing each floor. It's a 3-story building, so I got 150 feet of 10-inch tall, or maybe it's 12-inch tall steel belly band separating each floor, in addition to multiple pieces that need to be made for each deck. Kind of, coil is it? Should it be wood grain or a smooth finish? Spend a lot of time just looking at a project and figuring out, what's the right product? What's the best place to get it? What gauge should it be? What did the spec sheet say on the bid documents? So all of these things play into how to get a job started right. Have you ever been out on a cold day and you're freezing your fingers off trying to put air in, air up the flat tire or add some air to the tire of your vehicle or something? Now imagine that tire is 10 times bigger and has 100 times more air that needs to go in it. That's what it's like filling a flat telehandler tire. Always this temptation to just go ahead and drive it. Like, how flat is too flat? Like, is it gonna come off the rim, or can I safely just get this one thing done even though the tire's a little low? Small flashings in trims, it just makes more sense for the crew to bend it and make it right there on site, because you just bring them some trim coil and they've got their nice little portable brake that they set up right there at the job site, and then any little thing they need, they've got it right there, and it's very fast and efficient for them to just quick make it. We're gonna make that with steel. You want to measure and write down what the measurements should be for it?
Okay, sure.
it's the heavier metals, the thicker gauges, heavier duty trim pieces that we make sure we save that kind of stuff for Superior Supply to custom make. There's a lot of detail on the job. The crew winds up seeing me quite a bit because there's just a lot of back and forth that needs to happen. You know, on one hand, you know, I appreciate the crews, and it's like the crews are working for me, but that sort of makes my job to keep working for them and make sure that they have what they need to stay productive. You know, they get paid by the square foot and by the lineal foot and things like that. So if I'm doing a good job at my job, I keep them well stocked with the supplies they need to be fast and efficient. Eagle Ridge developers selected some really cool products for First Street Lofts downtown. The siding is being made by Quality Edge, and the product is called Vesta, and it looks amazing. I can't wait to see the finished result. Crew's starting to get some product on, looks great. The crew's going fast too, you know. We rented extra machines because the nature of this Vesta product is some of it goes on vertical, and the usual equipment that we use to go up a wall is set up wide and you just go up one time. Well, this vertically oriented product is not real conducive to that. You got to go all the way up and all the way down and work your way across. It's a little bit time consuming. So we had to rent a couple extra of these 66-foot telescoping work platforms so that the guys could get themselves all the way up and all the way down and keep getting the siding going on and across. So far so good.
And we have some blueprints from the architect. Because they're very specific. Like everything has to be done very, very specific. You gotta pull that green paper off.
So this Touchmark project is an insurance restoration, which means that it's a remodel, not new construction. But Touchmark has their own in-house architect that put the bid work together and created the spec sheets for everything. So obviously, us and our crews, we know how to put siding on in such a way that it doesn't leak. But this job is just a little bit extra involved because we're having to pay attention to the kind of the letter of the law and getting into the detail of exactly how this architect wants it done. And there's a few ways to do things right, but we want to do it their way because they were specific about it, so we want to honor that. But some of it's a little confusing.
Just go up off there an inch or two.
Oh, really? Like we're not supposed to start the siding? That's gonna mess up matching up around the corner. Or is it? No.
You might
top
have
of
to
that-
rip that bottom piece off.
Well, on top of that trim board, we'll just start right down in the J channel on
Yep.
top of that trim board, right? So that should still match up.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
See, it goes up the wall there too. That's how they had it going.
What?
That piece of metal, he had them bent where it didn't have any leg on the bottom.
Oh,
and
right,
the
yeah,
top.
yeah. So we made it better.
Or maybe I'm confused. Or maybe I'm confusing, or we confused ourselves. Whatever it is, we got to get it figured out.
Rod or?
If it gets hot on that, it'll work.
3 inches?
Yep. That back leg. You gotta be 3 inches off that brick.
This final, yeah, the siding starts 3 inches up. It's gonna be ugly.
In the most ordinary of circumstances, you're removing product from the wall, and probably the previous people that installed product do it more or less the same way we do it, and so we're just kind of take it off and put it back together the way it was. But since this project has such specific direction, we're taking, you know, extra time to communicate each one of the changes of detail to the crew. And so, you know, communication is also sometimes where details get lost. So we've got Greg looking at the paperwork because he's the most familiar with it. I'm there because, you know, it's my crew and we're, you know, making sure we get it right together. And I'm gonna have to run around and, you know, if there's more product that's needed, it's gonna be me that runs off to get it and bring it to them.
That tape it.
Okay. So he's gonna cover the nail.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not the nail in this. The nail in the window.
Flashing
Window.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
We're not taping over the nails in the J-pin?
Nope.
Okay. Okay, I'll go to the supplier and get 4-inch and 6-inch window flashing tape.
More Tyvek tape.
Whole case of Tyvek tape.
You got hand-driven nails out here?
I gave him a
Yeah.
25 pound.
You don't want to
50
screw it all on, do you?
No,
No.
just the nail.
And there's that piece. When you get up to it, we're a little bit worried about this piece, if it's going to oil can, if it's going to look good or not good.
We can try it on.
Yep. Once you get up there, you try it on and
and
send me a picture, or just you tell me what you think of it.
Okay. Yeah, I will.
I'd be so screwed without Greg. Well, at least I don't have to drive around back this time. Shane's a good guy. He brought everything up front. But now I still have to go to Front Street Millwork because I guess 6-inch wide window flashing tape is a strange item in these parts. So I got a whole box of 4-inch flashing tape. Now we're gonna go buy every roll that Front Street Millwork has.
I don't know how this wall threw us for such a loop. And I think it's because of all the different surfaces. There's, you know, a spec for ground level surface, but only a little bit of the siding goes down to the ground. Then there's a brick ledge detail because some of the siding starts at a brick level. And then there's window trim detail and how to, you know, how they want it to start around and above a window. And then there's the trim. Then there's the aluminum belly band trims and things like that. And so everything has its real specific direction. And, you know, I'm not going to say I'm dyslexic, but I'm pretty good at looking at something twice and seeing it, you know, the same thing 2 different ways. For example, was it supposed to be a 1/2 inch up off the ground but 3 inches up off the brick? Or was it 3 inches up off the ground and a 1/2 inch up off the brick? You know, I made sure that I thought of it every which way before arriving at the right answer.
I wonder why they haven't sold this in a while. Because nobody's even heard of 6-inch wide window flashing tape in this town. Here it is, $400.
And what was that about 6 inches? Was that a flashing or a trim or overlap or tape? Somehow I got it in my mind that the detail called for 6-inch window flashing tape. And that there is such a thing as that. It's incredibly uncommon. So I spent a lot of time driving around town looking for that 6-inch flashing tape.
Okay.
And 4-inch tape.
4-inch tape. Yeah, it was right. One of these. This one.
I know it's
window.
4-inch tape up there, so it's probably this one. Let's see.
This one the window, but I think it's on top. This one. It's probably this one.
4-inch tape. Which one was 6-inch tape?
Which turned out to be an overlap detail.
Somewhere he had 6-inch tape. I went and bought it. It was very expensive.
Right here, I guess. No.
It says 4-inch. Well, that's just how much overlap. That's just 6-inch overlap.
But if I didn't sign up for these headaches and having to figure these things out, I don't know what contracting is. You know, it's like that's the job. You sign up to take on the headaches and figure them out. And we're just grateful, we're just grateful to have the work and, grateful that somebody picked Capital Exteriors for these magnificent projects. And so, yeah, I can get frustrated for a few moments, but it all just it all washes out because I'm just grateful for the work.
I think that could be like one of the last headaches of the day, all taken care of. I think we can go back to the office. Let's do it.